Hello, my name is Clint Lacer, and I'm with Lanham & Brown, a global aviation planning consulting firm. We are working with Long Island MacArthur Airport on the Terminal Area Narrative Report, which looks at the long-range vision of the actual airport concourse and terminal area. We'll be looking at alternatives today that are looking at the long-range vision, which means over the next 20-year planning horizon. And it's important to note that we're looking at the full build concepts today, but this would be done in a very phased approach that is aligned with the demand of traffic that occurs over the years of that time. The initial construction will only be between 6 to 10 gates and will be in a very phased approach. Of the items we'll talk about today include a little bit of background about the project and our overall objectives for the study. We'll discuss key criteria, go through concept options, and then compare them against each other before moving on to next steps and a question and answer session. As background, you can see on the screen the existing terminal with the West Concourse, which is a 1990s prefabricated building installed as a very temporary solution. Today, that building still stands and is often overcrowded with heating and cooling challenges and operational deficiencies. In late 2019, we began development of this terminal narrative report for replacement opportunities, and we worked in collaboration both with the airport and with FAA. Objectives of the study include increasing gate capacity beyond what is currently at the existing terminal. We need to accommodate modern commercial service aircraft, many of which are now upgauged or larger than they were when the terminal was first developed. Enhancing the passenger experience, including enhancing the level of service for our passengers, improve passenger circulation and shorter walking distances, and implementing new technologies and amenities that are expected at today's common terminals. We are looking to enhance operational and functional efficiency. And overall, this project is to plan for the next 20-year horizon or future. Looking at the existing facility, some of the primary deficiencies include a lack of connectivity to the Long Island Railroad, or really just to the greater community. And we'll talk more about that throughout this whole presentation. Operational capacity issues just due to the lack of space or space in the wrong places within the existing terminal. And then just a lower customer experience. Again, there are some longer walking distances that you have to take to get over to the existing West Concourse. There are some space constraints as well as poor accessibility, as some passengers have to go up or down through various means to get to the West Concourse. The baggage handling system is currently at capacity and then currently lacks a proper general aviation or FIS facility that meets federal facility requirements. And this is for international CBP processing. For a little bit of background, the existing terminal is located in the south portion of the airport. You can see in blue. The existing terminal is co-located with other land uses, which does prohibit it from future expansion capability. The concepts that we were looking at for this study also include looking at the north area of the overall airport campus. This is located near the existing Long Island Railroad Ronkonkoma station, and provides some opportunities for a greater passenger experience and connectivity to that station, as well as some possible development opportunities as well. So as we started the project, we, as a group, looked at what are the key evaluation criteria for this study. And it's important to look at this and then benchmark that along the entire process of the study to ensure that we are hitting the mark. Some of the key items include connectivity to the Long Island Railroad and community. And this is really one of the key items as far as what we believe are criteria for this study. Over the past couple of years, there's been a $100 million investment put into the capacity for the railroad system, which really helps to increase that capacity by 46%. A couple of projects include the East Side Access and Third Track projects that help to provide more nonstop service between Ronkonkoma and New York City, as well as it increases connectivity to the greater region, even out to Connecticut and New Jersey. Another part of the connectivity to the greater community is having a simplified and more enjoyable connection or walk once you're actually at the station and you walk to the terminal. So that's something we will talk about throughout this project. Minimizing walking distances is the next key thing. Again, this is both external as well as internal to the building. Externally, we want to get passengers from the Long Island Railroad Station to the terminal as quickly and efficiently as possible. And ideally, this is around a third of a mile or 1,800 linear feet or less. Once inside the building, it's also important to have the shortest walking distance possible from the entry point into the building to the furthest gate, which right now is a little bit longer because people need to go to the east concourse and then backtrack to the west. Another key criteria includes the potential for development opportunity. This includes maximizing non-aeronautical revenue potential, as well as within the terminal, increasing the ability to have ample concessions offerings throughout the building. All of this helps to offset the financial gains that we can have with this development. And then with growth flexibility, this is extremely important. We want to make sure that we can have the capability for additional airside gates, as well as landside expansion potential, the ability to enhance existing airlines and to bring in new routes with those airlines, as well as to attract new entry airlines to our market. And then simple phasing for future gate build-outs. We want to do things where you don't have to throw away projects along the way from the phased approach. This is really important to keep the project in budget. Overall, customer experience is extremely important and one of our key criteria. And in doing this, we also will then right size the facility itself. So this is putting all of the right square footage or components into the building with the correct adjacencies. That may be a little harder to do with an existing facility. The ability for new technologies and systems. This includes inclusion of an inline baggage handling system, updating building systems like mechanical and electrical, and then having integration of current technologies that are commonplace at airports across the country. And then lastly, implementation cost is, of course, a very important key criteria of the project. So we've developed quite a few options, both the north and the south areas of the airport. And overall, this has been narrowed down to three key concepts. We call them Concept B, Concept E, both located in the north area of the airport campus, and then Concept F, which is located at the existing south area. These were the ones that met the criteria itself. And again, these key criteria that we were trying to benchmark against throughout all of the evaluation process includes functionality, customer experience, operational aspects, and then long-term flexibility. So we'll go through a few of these concepts, starting with Concept B. And just as background, the plan you're seeing here, this is located in the north area of the airport, just north of the runways, but yet south of the Long Island Railroad Ronkonkoma station, and north is up. So we talked about our key criteria and that connection to the Long Island Railroad. This one has its connection point at just under 1,700 linear feet. So that's under that benchmark of 1,800 that we discussed earlier. The potential expansion capabilities of this concept include 30 gates, as well as it has development opportunities shown in red of around 24 acres. Overall, this concept has a great connection straight from the Long Island Railroad Station to the terminal shown in pink. The dark pink represents the first phase of the airport, which would be around 8 to 10 gates, including 2 swing gates for international use. And then in orange, you can see the capability for general aviation aircraft to park at the terminal and process through the new FIS or General Aviation Federal facility. Everything showed in light pink is the future phase that can grow us all the way to 30 gates. So some of the advantages of this concept B include a very short walk and a very simple walk from the Long Island Railroad Station. It has the potential for a new garage to be located between the railroad station and the airport for mixed use, very flexible. Overall, this concept does provide a simplified and flexible phasing approach with very little throwaway costs. And then at the end, it has a great development connectivity with everything shown in red to the overall parcel. Moving into the second concept, which we call concept E, this again is in the north area of the airport and closely connected to the Long Island Railroad Station. This one is at 1,900 linear feet, so just a little bit more than the last one, but very walkable within a 5 to 9 minute walk. This has the potential for expansion to 30 gates. And so a passenger coming off the Long Island Railroad here at 29 would then have a means of walking to the new terminal shown in blue. The first phase would again include that first 8 to 10 gates located right here in the middle, shown in green, and then the blue being the swing gates of both domestic and international use. And then the orange represents, again, the general aviation potential parking area back into that FIS facility. What the advantage of this one is it really provides an opportunity for an integrated transit-oriented design, meaning there is an opportunity along that walk from the railroad station to the terminal for you to stop, to shop and to enjoy that walk. There's potential for offices or other mixed use that really make it a live, work, play environment. And all of these uses would be conducive to business travelers, as well as with the close connectivity to the railroad station for commuting. This one provides a very easy phased approach. In the next phase, you would build another linear or another double-sided concourse just to the southwest. And then later on in the phased approach, just to the other side, to the east. It provides 26.3 acres of development opportunity, shown everywhere between the terminal and the railroad station. It's a sustainable development long-term, has a strong customer experience, and really leverages the infrastructure investment involved. Moving into concept F, this one is slightly different. This one is at the south quadrant and involves the existing terminal. So as far as the connectivity to Long Island Railroad, which is a key criteria, this one's obviously quite a bit longer. We're at almost 6,900 linear feet, and this is not something that you could walk. Today, it takes around 10 to 15 minutes to get from the station to the airport, either through shuttle or through a taxi or an Uber. And so that would remain with this concept. So looking at the advantages and disadvantages, advantages include leveraging the existing infrastructure and utilities that are already on site. And then the overall cost would be less, but you're also not gaining as much throughout this concept. Again, the disadvantages would include that lack of connectivity to the railroad, minimal development opportunity, and then the lack of the long-term flexibility involved for additional gates. And from a phased approach, the existing West Concourse and existing Central Terminal area would be demolished for the development of this new concept. So now that we've walked through the three concepts, we want to look at how they compare against each other. It's important to remember that this is a phased approach. And so the concepts you just reviewed did show the entire ultimate build out, but this would be a 6 to 10 gate initial phase before moving forward with the rest of the program based upon demand of the flights at that time. So looking at the first concept, B, I was starting back a little bit for a little bit of reference. The way that we have ranked this is that we gave a green or a 1 if it was a beneficial option for the key criteria. We gave an orange or a 0 if it was marginal or down the middle, and then a red or a -1 if it was a disadvantaged option for any way. We have reviewed this against the key criteria that we talked about at the beginning of the conversation along the left side. So we'll focus on the first couple, and that being the connectivity to the Long Island Railroad. The first two options, both located in the north quadrant, are around the 1,700 to 1,900 linear feet range, which is acceptable for a walk of around 5 to 10 minutes. Concept F compares against that with almost 7,000 feet of walking distance, which isn't really walkable. And so you would have to continue to have the either shuttle or a Uber or car ride to get from the train station down to the existing South Terminal. As far as development opportunity, concepts B and E provide around 24 to 27 acres worth of development opportunity. Existing concept F would really have minimal opportunity as there are so many co-located land uses around the existing terminal. And then long-term flexibility, how many gates can you get in the end? Concepts B and E both provide an up to 30 gate capacity, whereas concept F is really around 11 because of those constraints we just discussed. So overall, comparing them against each other, concepts B and E both scored a 5 on the higher range, while concept F, the south concept, came in at -4, so quite a bit different than the first two. Over the last couple of months, we have been, the airport has been working with all of the key stakeholders, and we reviewed all of these concepts together back on March 24th of 2021. Soon after that, a questionnaire was sent out, and we received comments on those questionnaires by May 1st, and really got a wide range of stakeholder responses and disciplines across the board. Within this questionnaire, we asked about what were thoughts on the concepts themselves, what did you like or not like about them, as well as talking about what are some of the components or technologies that you would like to include with a future concourse or terminal project. Again, the focus goes to those key criteria, including functionality, customer experience, operational, and then the long-term flexibility of expansion. As background, the terminal area narrative report started with an existing conditions assessment and inventory, as well as a review of the forecast, which is the demand and capacity of flights coming to the airport. Facility requirements were determined, and then we developed the alternatives that we just discussed today. So right now we're at the evaluation stage, which you can see kind of with the star and the dashed line in the middle of the screen. The determination now is for one preferred concept to move forward with. And once we have that, we will be developing an implementation plan, which includes an updated cost estimate, phasing approach and schedule, a financial feasibility analysis, and then looking at the environmental and sustainability impacts of that concept. And then overall, this will wrap up with a final document of a program definition document at the end. Next steps for the project for 2021, this year, we will be finalizing the terminal narrative report, and then we will be doing coordination with FAA. And this includes an update to the airport layout plan, or ALP, which will document the findings of the preferred concept for the airport to move forward. Then in 2022, an environmental study will occur on that preferred action or preferred concept, and there will be continued coordination with FAA and all of the airport stakeholders. So again, looking back to this project, the goal for this is that we are coming up with what is the long-range vision for the airport. This is going out to the next 20 and 30 years. And so the concepts shown today do show what is that ultimate vision. However, it will be a phased approach with around 6 to 10 gates up front and be done and will be done incrementally with when flight demand is there. So we would love to have your feedback on everything you just saw today. We have provided a link here on the screen that you can provide your comments on what you liked or did not like about the concepts, as well as any future technologies or improvements that you would like to see at the airport. Please provide these comments no later than July 16th of 2021. Long Island MacArthur Airport thanks you for your attention and your support, and look forward to hearing back from you very soon. Thank you.